The next question I have is from brother, and the question that I received from a sister is asking what's the best way to the husband and wife have a peaceful relation. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Many of the complaints that I receive regarding husband and a wife dispute, I'm going to go through the root cause, and I'm sure this would help like many husband and wives, and inshallah after listening to my points, inshallah I hope there will be a much change in your life. The root cause of all the problems, that is the anger of a husband and the sharp tongue of a wife. In every couple's life, if these two are controlled, because we have to understand something. Shaitan knows our weakness. What we have, Shaitan use that to cause a problem in our life. For example, let me give an example. How does the whole situation get corrupted at our at home? When a husband gets home from outside, what happens if the husband is like a little bit upset from outside, and when he comes home, and let's say a wife has periods, or maybe she's an upset, she's an angry or anything, and the husband is already upset because of some type of job, maybe his boss got an angry, maybe it's because of the business. It could be any reason, but let's take an example. He gets home, and maybe the wife is doing something inappropriate, which maybe the husband didn't like it, and he would simply get upset on that, and because of the anger that he had from his job, from his business, he would take his anger on a wife just by entering into a home. Now when he does that without realizing, now this is all happening, the communications between the shaitans, how the shaitans communicate. How does the shaitan cause a problem between husband and a wife? To understand something, husband and wife is the only relation on the earth that the only one who disliked it, who wants to break it, is a shaitan. There's a beautiful hadith. Before coming to the point, I just wanted to quote a beautiful hadith, and I'm going to give you a commentary on that one. One of the hadiths, the Prophet ﷺ, I'm going to give you a commentary on that. The Prophet ﷺ said on every night there's a gathering of shaitans above the sea every night, and all the shaitans are gathered, and among them there's one leader of all the shaitans, like a head, you can call a principal, or you can call it the minister, or you can call it any name you want. When all the small students of shaitan sitting on the chairs, and the big leader sitting on his big chair, he would be asking in every shaitan, okay, what you did, like giving a daily report to the leader, like the supervisor, you can say a manager, you can say a leader, like the bigger shaitan. So all the little shaitans, they get up and they give the report. They will give the report to the minister or the leader. Okay, today I have, now this is the commentary of the hadith that I'm interpreting into detail, so you can understand the problem, the root cause, how the things happen, and which is invisible to a human being, and still we have an iman. There's a creation that exists, is called jinns and shayateen, that they fly around causing problems on the earth and causing a bloodshed, causing an interruption, causing human beings to sin. So one of them gets up and he will report to his leader, okay, today I have made someone to drink an alcohol, and the leader will tell him, okay, you sit down. Now another one gets up, he would say, okay, I made a person to commit sin. Okay, he said, okay, you sit down. And among them, one of them will say, okay, I make somebody to involve into riba. He said, the leader would say, okay, you sit down. One of them would come up and he would say, I make someone to do the gambling, and the leader would say, you sit down. And one of them say, I made someone to do a shirk, and the leader would say, okay, you sit down. So like in all the sins are committed by the human beings are caused by shaitans, and the shaitans, the leader tell them, okay, you sit down, and you sit down. So now among all the gatherings, there is the one who gets up. He said, what you did? The leader asked him, what you did? And he would respond back to the leader, I have targeted a husband and a wife, and I caused them to fight, and I caused them to get angry on each other. I whispered in them and made a small little point a huge, they would fight in together, and I didn't leave them alone until they break up, and I didn't leave them alone until they break up. I stick with them until they break up. And I also get a help from other shaitans to help me to break them up. And many shaitans help me, and this is what I did. And what happens that the leader of all the shaitans, he would call that shaitan come too near him. And the leader would turn his face towards all the shaitans, and the leader would tell everyone, he is the best shaitan, that who did the best job. All you did is nothing. Now let's try to understand something. Someone did a shirk, the leader said okay. Someone did zina, the leader said it's okay. Someone made a human being to drink alcohol, he'll say okay. Everyone is okay except the one that was caused the husband and wife to fight, and the shaitan didn't leave them until they break up. The leader would tell all the gathering, all of you did nothing. What he did is best than you. Now from this point we can understand the husband and wife is the only relation on the earth, except the husband and wife. They will be seeing a lot of shaitans around them. It could be a face of the girl's parents, it could be a husband's parents, it could be the girl's brother or sister, maybe the husband's brother or sister, maybe the husband's friends, maybe the girl's friends. It could be on any face. Now let us understand how would be a husband and wife could recognize the shaitan. How is it? This is how the shaitan works. He would come to the girl, and first of all we have to understand something. Shaitan would target the weak person, not the one who is stronger. And the weakest between the husband and wife, that's wife. This wife is the weakest victim of a shaitan. The shaitan would, let's say for an example, it could be both of them. Shaitan would go to the weak person. He would say so many good things. He would talk about so many good things about their partner. Oh, he's so good. Oh, she is so good. It could be a whisper. It could be in the face of girls' side, girls' family side, or it could be on the boys' family side. It could be the friends. It could be in any one. But shaitan would definitely come between these two, husband and wife. He would say, now this is something very important, and I'm sure inshallah ta'ala I make a dua, this will really benefit all the husband or wife. This is a great therapy, and if someone would listen to the lecture, and I'm definitely inshallah I make a dua, after this lecture I'm sure there will be a great change in your life, and you will live a peaceful life, and you will love each other. Now the shaitan comes from the husband side, comes from the wife side, or they will target the weak person. They would come to the weak person and the shaitan does not say directly bad things. He would say good things 99 0.9% by, okay, your husband is like that, your wife is like that, and he's such a good person, you are so lucky, and you are among the luckiest person. All the 99.9% shaitan is talking about, talking to the human being through the whisper or through the human being. But among the 99.9%, 0.01 something, that will be a one drop of poison. And one drop of poison is enough for a shaitan to drop between the husband and wife. Let's say, for an example, he would come to the husband, he would come to the wife, or either one who is a weaker person. He would come to them, he would tell them, okay, husband is so good, but you know, there is something, this is the thing he doesn't do good. Similarly, he would go to the husband, shaitan would whisper 99.9% good things about the wife, but the one thing he would say to the husband through the whisper or through the, in the face of human being. Now that human being could be from the girl's side, or could be a man's side, but there's a one drop of poison would be enough to cause a fitna between them. Like, for example, the shaitan would go to the husband and will tell them, your wife is such a good lady, she is doing a salah, she is doing fasting, she is doing everything, you know, but there's something, there's a problem. If she fixes that, that would make such a good thing. Now if that husband or wife is so stupid and ignorant, he would leave all the positives and he will start getting aggressive into that negative point, trying to keep thinking that. Now this is the shaitan do. He makes a person think on something again and again and again and again, that cause inside a boiling. Now this is the point we understand how shaitan plays with their mind, either husband or it's a wife. It could be through the whisper, or it could be husband wife, it could be a husband side, or it could be a wife side. But this is very important. What is the foundation of this relation? To understand the foundation of this relation is that both believe on Allah, they both believe Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the last messenger. Then their foundation of their relationship starts from foundation, it is Quran. And that makes the relation halal. When there is a nikah khutbah, and when the imam said that you accept your husband, you accept your wife, and that's how your relation started. Now the main foundation of the relation is, number one, trust. You need to learn to trust each other. Not a single human being on the earth who is 100% perfect. Not the husband, not the wife. She has a lot of errors, husband has a lot of errors. But how does the relation work together? The way the relationship work together is, shaitan wants the partner to ignore the positives and pick on negatives. This is the shaitan do. And what a human being has to do? He has to pick on positives and ignore the negatives. Do not think about the negatives, do not pay attention to the negatives, just pick the good things and love each other. And that's the thing. Number one, based on trust. You trust your husband, you trust your wife, and this is how you start your relation. Love each other. And how do you love each other? By giving respect, giving intimate relations, having a good time together, going out, spending a time to each other. Now also understand something. When you do not have the communication between you too much, that is one of the reasons it makes a shaitan to come in the middle. And also if there is no sexual relation between them, that also is one of the cause that breaks a relation. In this relation, husband and wife, it is not allowed, and it is not permissible for the husband and wife to consult with the wrong people. First, whenever you have a dispute, both of the husband and wife has to sit down and they need to share their thoughts about each other. For example, if a husband has a problem with the wife, rather husband would be like keep whispering inside, communicating with the shaitan and keep boiling inside. It is better that husband should just take out whatever the things he has in his wife, and he would just simply tell her, please, I don't like this, please, I don't like this, if you please compromise on this one, I will be very happy. And if the wife is being very obedient, she has a good teaching, and she has brought up very good how to respect the husband. And also the sisters has to know that the way Allah made the mother as a source of Jannah for a man, similarly Allah made the husband a source of Jannah for a woman. And one of the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, husband either a Jannah or the Jahannam for a woman. For example, I have seen so many cases. The husband does too many things for a wife, but she would still not be happy. And why would she not be happy? Because she's looking at other women getting pleased on having a rich and having a money, having shopping around. But let me tell you something, the best relationship should not be based on money, on spending, shopping, but rather the relationship should be based on the Quran, should be based on the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ. Now, how does the dispute start? The shaitan is attacking to the men and also attacking wife side and also husband side, causing them to disturb each other. So now I'm gonna come back to the main point, what are the things could be controlled in order to make a relationship peaceful according to the Sunnah way to love each other. Number one, there's a great instructions for a husband. Many husbands are short-tempered, and this is the weakest part of a man, that they get really tempered. This is the root cause. Now if shaitan knows that this man gets really tempered, shaitan is gonna make the wife do something which will make him angry. And if he gets angry, and then on the other side shaitan is disturbing the wife to talk back and respond back. And what happens, like when the wife talks back and respond back to his anger, rather than he gets calmed down, he boils more. And when he boils more, he just spit it out in anger, the word divorce. This is the root cause in every home. If you control these two things, if a man can be controlling his anger, because anger is the cause of so many houses, families are being destroyed because of the husband temper. And how does the husband get temper? Because of getting impatient. If he wants to tell wife to do something, if she's not doing on time, if she's delaying on something, now that would be boiling him up, and he's gonna spit out all the anger on his mouth. Now what happens on the other side, when he says something in the anger, when he gets in the home, when he says something in anger to a wife, now we have a problem. There's a great major problem. All domestic violences and all the men in a jail in a USA, and I'm sure many countries, many women are getting beat up and they get hit by the husband. Rather than blaming the husband, I would also say the sisters to control your tongue, because if Allah has given a physical power to a man, but also woman has a strong power of a tongue that is like a sharper than the sword, which really cuts off a husband's heart by responding back and by replying back. But rather I would ask them, and I would request them, all those husbands and wives who's listening to this one, please forward this message to every husband and wife. If you do not have the control on your anger, the best thing to control is always recite A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim, A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim. Keep reciting that until you cool down. And what things that upset a man from the wife, just ignore that and just pick up something what she has positive things in her, and just ignore the negative. And on the other side, I would ask the sisters, if your husbands are angry, now I'm giving a really something, a formula that will make your life peaceful. If a husband controls his anger, and if a wife controls her tongue, that house is like a Jannah in dunya, and also they're going to get a Jannah in akhirah, because they have a patience, they know how to respect each other, because we know that the anger comes from shaitan, and the same shaitan makes the wife anger, and the two angers are killing each other, because we do not find you cool down the fire with another fire. You have to cool down the fire with the water or with the carbon dioxide. It's something cool, not we cannot distinguish the fire with another fire. In order to make the fire to cool down and shut it off, when husband is getting on the wife has to stay quiet. If he's saying rather, even he's saying accusing words, accusation, he's accusing her for something which she didn't do, it is requested to the sister, just calm down and stay quiet. Stay quiet until he is cool, then you are able to explain him the problems. But because if the husband is angry and the wife responds back, it does not rather cool him down, but rather it will rise more. With the rising more, he would say something word of divorce, and this is how the mostly houses and mostly families are being destroyed, just because of the husband's anger and the wife's tongues. So inshallah, I make a dua for all my brothers and sisters. If you keep these two things in your house, controlling your anger, controlling your tongue, love each other, respect each other, give a best manners to each other, live a life like a best friends, live a life like you are childhood friends, share your problems with each other. If one of them have a problem, they have to share with each other. Do not keep it in your heart, and that's going to making like a poison burning inside the heart, but rather you share it with your partner, because your partner is going to stay with you for a lifetime. You have to control your temper. For the husband, many husbands are very short tempered, they cannot take it and they just suddenly get angry. Now that's a sign of also a weak iman, and also he is not a cool person. He would definitely destroy his own life and also the life of the wife, because let's say if the husband is expecting good things from the wife, and also the wife is expecting the same things from a husband, she do not expect that the husband should curse her, and also the husband expect the wife should respect her. So in order for a husband to expect the respect from the wife, he has to respect first, love her, respect her, care her, give her everything, give her happiness, and she is going to respond back with a similar manner. Do not expect you trying to be, because there's a ayah Surah Nisa verse number 32 where Allah say ar-rijalu qawwamuna 'ala nisa. Now this ayah, many people get misconception about this ayah, that the rijal is a qawwamuna on the woman. So basically this ayah simply means rijal, the man is the responsible and the guidance for a woman to take care of them. Not take care of them, it doesn't mean you're a governor, you're leader on her, but rather you need to make sure she's comfortable, she's being happy, she's pleased, and you don't give her bad impressions or anything, but rather love each other, respect each other, live like a husband and a wife, live like a best friends. When you have a relation of a best friends, that house is the beautiful house. When a husband gets angry, the sister has to stay quiet, because if she talks back, that's a sign of the shaitan is trying to causing a problem. Because what happens, like when you do that, shaitan gets a chance to boil them more, and shaitan wants the man to utter the word of talaq to the sister, and that's how the family breaks. Now this is the husband wife. Now what if they have a children? That's more destructions. And from the hadith, this was the real meaning of the hadith, when the shaitan said, when the leader shaitan tells all the shaitans in the gathering, like he is the one who did the best job among us. Because we have to understand something, if the couple has children, it would not only destroy their lives. Now this is causing the generations and generations and generations. They become like a psychological problems, and it also causes mentally problems to the children. They get the same problem, and they would do the same thing with their partners. This is naturally. So all the husbands and the wives, they have to be careful. The husband has to stop getting angry and learn to do that. And how to do that? You have to do a lot of dhikr, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, and say a lot of azkar like astaghfirullah rabbi min kulli dhanbin wa atubu ilayhi, a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, say ayatul kursi, and also say last two surahs, and also Surah Ikhlas, and blow on himself, because shaitan is bullying him. Rather to be a victim of shaitan, rather you use the word of Allah to cool yourself down. Shaitan would not use you. So when husband is angry because the wife says something, the husband has to stay quiet and wait until she is cooled down. And if she is saying something, the husband has to cool down, and when husband is saying something in a temper, the wife has to stay quiet until he is normal and he is cooled down, and now she is able to explain him the problems. Now what happens when the family breaks? It does not only cause the husband and wife to break, but this also cause the life of the children. Like for example, in USA, in a census data report, so many murder cases, violence cases, domestic violence problems are being caused of the mentally illness husbands and the mentally ill wives. And when the history is being checked of their background and everything, it is being found that their parents used to do the same thing, and that wife side, on the woman's side, their parents used to do the same thing. That's why it caused them for the psychological problem, and they also get mentally sick, and now they're doing the same thing what their parents used to do. So this is not only causing the husband wife, this is also causing the next coming up generation. The two things you have to keep in your mind: control your temper, control your tongue, because these are the two things which is the destruction of every house. The most divorces are being done only because of the husband temper, and the wife talks back to reply back. She cannot stay quiet, and which cause the husband to boil more. Then he utters the word of a divorce, and that's how the family breaks it. So inshallah, I make a lot of dua for all our brothers and sisters. Please, if you're looking for a counseling, and if you're looking for therapy or any husband and wife therapy, and you want to consult with me about your partner weaknesses or anything, inshallah I do free for everyone. Make sure you contact me for anything, and I'm ready to help you, and I need to make sure you're living a beautiful life. May Allah give you a blessing. May Allah bless you all.